Late and Mark Hamill. That's right. We are here. We are live, but I see all the Late and Mark Hamills in the chat, so I had to go ahead and acknowledge that. I 100% co-sign that as a true insult to anybody that is not on time, or just in general. We can just make Mark Hamill just a new insult, you know? That could be the censored version of the Melanie Mac word that we just we call people. You freaking Mark Hamill. I like that. What do you think about that, Ryan?
Maybe. I'm fine with that. I'm good with just plain old gay. I think we could just call people fucking gay.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Gay and retarded, those things are back. Actually, there was a post. I kind of want to look more into it. There's people that are really mad at Blake Lively because apparently she used a short word for transgender people like 15 years ago or something, like repeatedly.
God.
People are very triggered about it.
This is why you just have to be who you are. Quit apologizing. Quit building up this fake audience that's going to be offended over every little fucking thing that's ever been said. It's disgusting. These people are freaks. Don't pander to them ever, or that's what you're going to get. You're going to get that every single time. Like, oh, someone said something 15 years ago that now by 2024 standards is offensive. Well, our audience is never going to treat us like that. Could you imagine the audience that we have, like, being mad because Ryan said something offensive 15 years ago? You know, much less 15 seconds ago. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just be who you are. Quit worrying about what these freaks say. If you're on the internet, if you have any public persona whatsoever, you're going to have people mad at you for something. That's just the way the world turns.
It's also interesting now too because like obviously we stay out of we try to stay out of like hardcore politics or whatever, but with JD Vance being the vice presidential nominee, this is like the first guy who's in kind of that age bracket where he probably put up pictures of himself on Facebook or whatever. Yep. And so like now people are like, wow, look at this. Look at this picture of JD Vance when he was in high school that's on some random person's Facebook page. That's going to bring an entire new dynamic to political shit.
Oh,
when people like look at this old MySpace picture and like all this. Jesus.
Oh yeah. That's only gonna get you're right. That's only gonna get worse and worse as we progress into politics. So yeah, you're gonna look like the stuff with JD Vance is just so funny. Like they're just blowing everything out of proportion about stuff. But that's politics for you. So welcome to the world of social media and influencers and all that other stuff.
JD Vance looked like he was like an Insane Clown Posse fan, you know, back in the day. That's like the kind of vibe he gives off his high school pictures.
Oh man. Hey, you know what I just watched, Ryan, for the first time in a long time? It's a series. It's a season of television. It's a season of television that only has one good season. All the other seasons are dog shit.
I have no idea.
True Detective.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that might be the best season of television I've ever seen. Like that first season. It's
Alexandria Daddario alone, I think.
Yeah, she's in it. It's just a perfect fucking season of television. I can't believe how good it is. And I mean, it's been a long time since I watched it. And watched it again. Yeah, it absolutely holds up, and it might be the best season of television. The single season of television. All the other, seasons of True Detective are trash. At least the couple I saw. The only thing I do remember, I don't remember what season it is. What is her name? That one chick that was the lead in one of the seasons of True Detective. What's her name? Chat's gonna tell me in here in just
Foster?
No.
That was the last one season that just came out, right?
I think so. What's her name? It's like the third season, I think.
I haven't watched any of the other ones. I haven't watched any other seasons.
Not Jodie Foster. Yeah, Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams. There is a scene with Rachel McAdams. If you know, you know, and it makes that whole season worth watching. There's just one scene. You're like, you know what? I could watch this. If this whole season was this, I could watch it. But first season's great. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. So what have you been up to, Ryan? What positive things have you been getting into?
Nothing. Just kind of hung out and made videos over the weekend. That's about it. I went to the pool one time. I guess that was kind of positive. It was way too fucking hot. I can't wait for fall to be here. I'm tired of stupid ass summer here in Florida. It's hot and miserable. Fuck it.
Yeah, it's at a point now. Like, I just want to dump like loads of ice in the pool because there's no point in getting in it. It's like I should just go take a fucking warm bath at this point in time. You know what I mean? It's so brutal. Yeah, the heat in Florida is brutal. If there's a spammer, take care of them. Mods, feel free to do that. But all right, let's catch up on the Dom H with 5 gifted memberships. Let's go. What's up, Dom in the house? Let's see. Torben says for 20, or is it 200 for, I don't know what that is. It's probably like $20 USD. But Mark Hamill is downgraded to Mark 0. Nah, I just think calling him Mark Hamill. That's the biggest insult you can give him. That's the biggest insult. Let's see. We got Gary in the chat. What's up, Gary?
He's 1 year older.
He's 1 year older.
I already wished him happy birthday. I was like, Jesus. I wished him. Like,
I didn't want to do it either.
The least enthusiastic happy birthday of all time. I didn't even use a capital letter. Happy birthday, all lowercase.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it either, and I'm like, I'm not sending a nice happy birthday. So I found that picture of him on Sydney Sweeney's body, and I was like, this will make everybody happy on social media. Because now it's like if you just give like a nice happy birthday to like some fucking random clickbait YouTuber like Gary or me or you, then you have to do it for every fucking body, and then they all get fucking upset if you don't wish them a happy birthday. Or you wish Gary a happy birthday, why don't you wish me one? You know what I mean?
Who's gonna say that?
Jay.
Yeah.
Or Beardo.
Yeah,
fucking
probably.
celebrating their whole fucking birthday month like women.
Is that this? I don't even know what fucking month that is. But
Who cares? Who cares? It is what it is. So, yeah. Gary said it. Jay would do that. So, you should celebrate your birthday month, Ryan.
Nah. Why? I will accept the birthday wishes on my birthday, and I'll like people's tweets, and I'll be appreciative. But I don't need a fucking month reminding me that I'm 1 year older.
I don't know. The way Jay and Beardo did it last year was really embarrassing.
It was so cringe because they did like fucking 4 straight streams that were something about their birthday. It was like pre-birthday universal visit or something. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Bunch of queers. God.
And then they did like a post-birthday cool-down stream and all that.
Just too much, man.
Yeah, it was. It was a little too much. But yeah, we got a lot of news surrounding Mark Hamill. He's even, since yesterday, which Ryan found the clip. So I made a video, Ryan made a video. But since then, he's even had more cringeworthy clips that we are seeing. He's hanging out at the DNC right now. And it's one thing that, okay, hang out at DNC, earn the paycheck that they're paying you. He's bringing Star Wars into everything that he's saying for political propaganda messaging, and that just shows that Mark Hamill as a quote unquote celebrity has no value whatsoever. He has to be tied to Star Wars in order for his words to have any weight or carry any relevance whatsoever, which goes into the idea that he's not a movie star. Like, would you consider Mark Hamill an actual movie star?
No, like not even fucking close. He is like Mark Hamill is kind of like a cultural like icon in a way. You know what I mean? Because he does star as Luke Skywalker, who's one of the most important and influential people in cinema, right? Over the past several decades, half century. But he's not a star. No. It's very niche, right? Because that's the only thing people are going to know him, and you can't just put Mark Hamill in a movie and expect a lot of people to pay attention to it because of that. And also, obviously, he did do the voice of Joker, like an iconic voice of Joker as well. But he's certainly not a star in that way. Doesn't mean that people aren't going to show up for a panel like fans of it. Doesn't mean that people aren't willing to pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a Mark Hamill autograph. The market's there; they obviously are. But no, he's not a star in that type of way. Yeah, and you could tell he wants to be. You could tell he wants to be, and I think that he thought
after Star Wars. It was almost like he just expected that he was going to be this big star, and Harrison Ford became that big star because he is an actual star, whereas Mark Hamill is not. Just like Chris Evans, not a movie star, he's a fake celebrity, just like Mark Hamill. And
I think Chris Evans a bigger star than Mark Hamill.
I absolutely agree he's a bigger star than Mark Hamill. But what movie is anybody going to see because Chris Evans is in it?
I don't know if he's like that big of a draw, but he's been in a lot more things than Mark Hamill has in like a lead actor role. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree with that. And I thought Chris Evans as Captain America was fantastic. I think I'm a bigger fan of him as Cap than you are.
Yeah, you definitely are. I'm a bigger fan of him as Johnny Storm. I think his Captain America is good. I was never like in love with him as the character of Captain America or anything like that. He gave some good performances. He was solid, but I don't know. Like when you're going toe to toe with Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, like, it's tough to live up to that type of level of like embodiment of like this character.
Yeah, I think he's great. I think he's excellent.
I've always thought he was better as Johnny Storm than he was as Captain America.
What was that? What was the movie where they were parodying Varsity Blues? Wasn't he in that one too? What was like Not Another Teen Movie or something like that?
He was in a lot of kind of movies like that early on in his career, and that's like why I kind of like him as Johnny Storm, like just because I feel like the kind of fucking like snarky asshole type of role. I just liked him in that.
Yeah. So, but anyway, discussion about who's a real movie star and who's not. There's not a lot of real movie stars left, to be fair, anyway. There's not many of them now. But Tom Cruise continues to still be the standard. He is the standard for movie stars. No doubt about it. He may be the definitive movie star of all time.
I guess we should talk about Mark Hamill since he's not a movie star.
He is not a movie star.
This story came out, and obviously Chicago Fan Expo was over the weekend. Of course, also in Chicago is the DNC, which, you know, maybe that's why Mark Hamill decided he wanted to go to Fan Expo Chicago, not 100% sure. But this story came out on Friday. May the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself. Mark Hamill at Chicago Fan Expo. And we saw a couple of these posts out there saying this. But I got to be honest, Jeremy, I was ready to defend Mark Hamill because I couldn't find, I thought for sure with something this inflammatory, there'd be some clips or something like that out there. But for some reason, there wasn't. And a day went by, 2 days went by, I still didn't see any actual clips. And I was thinking, well, maybe he didn't say that. Maybe it's somebody spinning something, trying to start some viral whatever.
Can confirm. I called Ryan. I called Ryan yesterday because I was going to make a video on not just that, but I was going to make a video on a couple of different things. And I'm like, I haven't heard the clip. Have you? And he goes, no, I've looked. I can't find an actual audio clip of it. So I was like, all right, maybe he didn't say that. I said, because I figured there'll be an audio clip. He's like, yeah, same. And then about, 2 hours later, you called me right before your stream. You're like, I found it. It's like this idiot sat through a whole Mark Hamill panel just to find the clip because we care about the audience.
I fucking had to listen to this dude fucking ramble on and on and on for 45 minutes until I finally found it. And sure enough, now there's some other clips coming out as well. Listen to this.
I've said that before, you know, I say, may the force be with you. Unless you're MAGA, then you can go force yourself. Listen,
not to bring politics into it.
I like that phrase because it sounds dirty, but it's not. Hey, I don't work blue. And I promise I wouldn't bring up politics.
I promised I wouldn't bring up politics, but then I fucking did it. And I feel like he like really loves this line for some reason because Jeremy, just a day later at the fucking DNC welcome party, he used the same fucking line.
This is strong with these delegates. And my message to MAGA, go force yourself, all right? Get out of here.
Good Lord.
And I've said this when it comes to Rachel Zegler, when it comes to a lot of these people. I don't expect everyone in Hollywood to share the same political opinion as me. That's just the reality. There's an 80% chance that they probably do not, if not more. But when you're attaching it to this thing that you're involved in, to this project that is, belongs to the studio, this IP, whatever, Mark Hamill, it's not like he just played Luke Skywalker. Now he's done it, hasn't done it in a while. He recently made a reappearance as Luke Skywalker, and he's currently working on a project with Star Wars, with Disney Plus, this Lego Star Wars thing. He's a producer and he's voice acting in it. So it's not like he's not working at Star Wars right now.
No, and look at here. Here he is right here, and he can't just make the statement. He has to bring Star Wars into it.
Mark Hamill here with the head of the DNC, Mr. Jamie Harrison. Well, listen, Mark, we got an important election coming up in November. Yes. You got a message for everybody out there? Well, in the movies, I fought against make-believe evil. But we're at a time in our history where we're fighting against real evil. So I beg you, please, don't go to the orange side.
Mark Hamill, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Mark Hamill.
And that is the only value he brings attention-wise is Star Wars.
Yes,
right?
that's it.
Everything he has to do, everything he's talking about and doing is connected to Star Wars. Mm-hmm. And if you're half of the people in this country, right, that's who he's talking about right now. If you're MAGA, go force yourself. People are going to a panel to watch him talk about Star Wars and talk about the things he's been involved in. And then he has to remind you, by the way, I fucking hate you if you don't agree with me. If you don't vote the same way as me, by the way, I fucking hate you. I'm going to use a Star Wars pun to do it. People are fucking sick of it. And this is the same, the same fucking company that decided Gina Carano, now we're going to fire her ass. But we're going to keep on hiring all of these people, keep employed all of these people on the other side of the political aisle, no matter what they say. It just continues to show time after time that this is who Disney is, and they're completely and totally fine with this.
Yep. Again, and that's really what the big argument comes down to, the hypocrisy of the situation. Either everybody should be free to say whatever their political opinions are and tie this into the projects that they're on, or no one should. I personally lean on the side that no one should. I think all actors should shut the fuck up about their politics, whether it's pro-Trump, anti-Trump, whatever. I think that's a better world. But I want it to either be all or nothing. Everybody says it or nobody says it.
Yeah, I think, ideally that would be nice. I think in the current, where we are right now with so many people on social media, whatever, I think it's kind of unreasonable for Mark Hamill to have starred in something that people loved 40 years ago and now feel like he's not allowed to voice his political opinion on a platform because of that. But yeah. But so I don't really, at the end of the day, if he's going to go and fucking be insane about Biden or Harris or whatever, meltdown over Trump, it is what it is. To me, the step comes when you're tying in your political opinion to the IP, to the brand that you're attached to Star Wars. And that is 100% what he's doing. He's taking advantage of that. He's getting paid by the DNC, by the way, to do this.
Yes.
And that is where it crossed the line. Same thing with Rachel Zegler. Do I think Rachel Zegler tweets out retarded things and retarded political positions? Yes. She's a young 23-year-old woke actress. Okay. When you attach it to Snow White, when you attach it to promoting your movie, that's when it truly does become a massive fucking problem.
Yep.
And I would say the same thing about somebody if they were promoting a movie and, attached to it, oh, by the way, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Kamala Harris, MAGA all the way, while you're saying thank you for a movie trailer. That would probably, although I would be more receptive to that message, that would turn off a lot of people. And it's not something I think you should do while promoting a piece of entertainment. Agreed
completely. That's it. Just need consistency, and everybody should be treated with the same set of rules, and that's absolutely not happening in Hollywood. We know that. It's been like this for years. It's been like this for decades. If you're a conservative in Hollywood, you're not allowed to share those opinions and express those opinions, which is why you hear Adam Carolla. He said it himself. Someone asked him. I can't remember if I talked to him about this, but either way, so I don't think it was a Daily Wire interview. Someone said who are the conservatives in Hollywood or whatever, and he's like, my experience. No, it was Dave Rubin's who it was. It was Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin asked him, and he said, if there's a celebrity that you don't know their political opinions, there's a good chance that they're conservative. And I was like, that's pretty interesting right there. So then I started thinking about major celebrities that I don't know their opinions on politics. I was like, okay. So I liked that answer. I was like, okay, so major celebrities that don't share their political opinions, there's a good chance that they're conservative. Interesting. So you can do the math right there. Ask yourself, chat, major celebrities you don't know their opinions on politics, and you'll get your answer.
Yeah. Dave L says, stop both sidesing this issue. It's predominantly almost exclusively on the left. I don't think we're both sidesing this issue. What we're saying is if somebody did this, we would also call it out because it could be damaging to your brand and your product. That's what we're saying. We're not saying there's a big example of people out there attaching their conservative political viewpoints to big Hollywood movies that they're putting out there. In fact, usually we have the opposite. Somebody like James Woods, who felt it was the right thing to do to hide his credits on Oppenheimer so that the movie wouldn't receive any potential backlash from his political opinions.
Yep. It says everything you need to know about Hollywood.
I agree with Jay for 2. That Mark Hamill is gay. Thank you. Orangutan for 199. Dr. Squatch sent me a bar with Jake Skywalker. To fucking wash your ass and your balls. Japanese Demon Lord of Beer Lucifer for 2. I like Mark Ramdas. I don't know if that's a good pun. But thank you. Taker for 5. Asking Mark Hamill to sign your Star Wars swag, 700. Asking Mark Hamill to sign your MAGA hat in MAGA country, Chicago, priceless. That would be pretty funny if you got all the way up there and then pulled out a MAGA hat for him to sign.
I will 100% do it if I'm ever at a convention he's at. But the problem is having to stand in line for like however long, pay the money, you know.
Imagine having
just to get kicked out, because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to get kicked out.
Having a MAGA hat that Trump has already signed on one side of the bill and asking Mark to sign on the other. That would be very rare, okay?
I have one that Trump signed, so
that would be extremely rare to have that. That'd be one of a kind. Brian Keith for 2, probably rather be called gay than Mark Hamill. Stay at home hippo. What up, my Mark Hamills? It is hilarious how any actor under Disney saying anything is just giving Gina more and more ammo to the court case.
Yep.
Yeah, again, all this is happening as Gina Carano is still embroiled in this lawsuit with Disney, which is going forward. And they do get, seems like every week we get something that shows more and more evidence of that. Animating Annie for 2, which was worse, Mark Hamill or the Cheering Seals?
A little bit of both.
It's tough to tell what the reaction of the entire crowd is like there. I imagine if anybody had a problem with what he said, they probably just sat there. Like they probably weren't going to stand up and boo if you waited all this time to get into this panel with Mark Hamill. But yeah, pretty fucked up. And it's also in Chicago. The Singing Tigs for 2. Hail Figs and Flamers 199. Birthday months are for homos. Thank you, Singing Tigs. Ministry of Wrong Thing for 5. Lacking of inclusivity and diversity. You play as a monkey man. What the fuck are we talking about here? Ryan Kinnell, 8/16/24.
Misspelled your name.
I know. I think it was intentional.
Probably.
But yes, we're going to talk about Black Myth Wukong a little bit and some of the reactions to that, which have been a little bit funny. Animating Andy for 2. Jeremy, you hired 2 men who are actually lesbians.
True.
Ron Cook for 5. Now Corvette Summer was a big hit for Mark Hamill. Cough. I mean, that's one of the only things you can talk about that he was also in.
He was cock knocker in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah.
One of his most prestigious roles. I think that was his name, right? Was it cock knocker? Is that what it was? I think so. If I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Pretty sure that's what it was.
Yeah. And I don't know if Mark Hamill regrets doing that or not. Ask him in Empire Strikes Back. Alex Papa for 10. Hogan at the RNC. The Rock at the DNC. Hogan v. Rock at WrestleMania 41.
The Rock's not DNC, is he? I doubt it. I doubt it. He
After
got
what he came out and said, I would be a little surprised, but also it wouldn't be shocking.
He basically denounced Biden, and that was when Biden was president. So now you got Kamala there. So maybe, but I don't think so. I think The Rock. I think he got so much backlash for his support of Biden that he basically, and he's working for TKO now, which is connected to the UFC, which now WWE is getting a little more loose with not being so politically correct. So I guess we'll see.
Ben Giles, too. You can just use Control F on the transcript. I mean, I don't know if that video specifically had an entire transcript, but I watched the entire thing. Big Ounce for 5. Personally, I won't vote for Insurrection Man and Bad at Job Woman. I'll vote for the Chinese Monkey. But seriously, Double D Cobra, will you buy Wukong?
Yeah. I'm going to support it just out of spite for all these other freaks that are upset about it.
Good.
So.
I thought it looked fucking awesome.
I think it does look good. I mean, obviously, that's the baseline.
The first trailer we saw for it, I felt like it was 4 years ago or something. It was like, hey, this looks kind of cool. So it's been like a long time coming.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I think it looks good. If it looked like shit, I wouldn't buy it just out of spite.
Yeah.
But I think it looks solid. Jason Yankovic for 5. I bet Gina's lawyers are looking at these clips from Hamill and laughing.
Hope so.
Linko Kenobi. What's up, guys? My cousin sent me that info on Mark Hamill. He told me if I ever go to a convention and find out he'll be there, my cousin wants to come with me and see Mark Hamill and tell him to go fuck himself.
I wouldn't say that. I would just go tell him.
Encourage you to do that, but do whatever you want.
I would encourage you to just be respectful, and maybe you can say like I'm a Trump fan or whatever, but that's not gonna help anything by going to tell Mark Hamill to go fuck himself. Because I think Steven Crowder said this a while back, but if you're not on the left, you play by a different set of rules. It's like if a leftist goes up to James Woods and says, fuck yourself, you'll never hear about it. Some one random person goes up to Mark Hamill and says that it'll be front page news. It'll be inciting insurrection, headlines at a con because someone was mean to Mark Hamill.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just go to Mark Hamill and say, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't really want to talk to him too much. If I ever was in a conversation with Mark Hamill and it went on 5 minutes and we were arguing about something, maybe then I'd tell him to go fuck himself. But I wouldn't just like go and scream at the top of my lungs at a convention. C&D Designs for 2. Hail 199 chat G&G Rebellion IDOTS Trump 2024.
Thank you.
Ministry of Wrong Think. Ryan Gale Gaddit Kennel. Thank you. Japanese Demon Lord of Beer Lucifer for 5. Mark Hamill was in a live-action anime movie, The Guyver. It's a trash masterpiece.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't seen it.
David Nelson for 5. So White Boy Taco is a.k.a. Waco's. So you get ground beef, add taco seasoning, Rosarita beans, lettuce chunks, tomatoes, sour cream, pre-shredded cheese, and top it off with La Victoria green sauce.
I'll just stick with
about? Like,
so.
Where's
this is the Tim Walls White Bow Taco video. Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah. By the way, I'm covering the DNC tonight, so over on Cobra Cast. So I'll be live for a long time. A lot of streaming these next 4 days.
River Miles actually sounds pretty good, to be honest. River Miles, he was also in The Force Sucks Baby Parts in London with his son and her boo. The Force Sucks Baby Parts. The Trillis for 5. Did Jay visit the spot where the MAGA Nigerians beat that that Efsler ninja from Empire? I don't know. We have
Probably
to stay tuned to Jay.
Probably not.
I know he went and got pizza and he thought it was really good, so I was happy to hear that.
Chicago pizza.
And he went to Lou Malnati's. Over on Rumble, wait is this word that's short for transgender, just like F-slur ban. Do I have to be Melanie Mack to be allowed to say those words? Well, no, anyone can say them. The reason I don't say them on YouTube is I don't feel the need to be a cringe edgelord and risk getting my channel deleted.
Yes.
But yeah, you can go say them every single day. John Getz for $1. Woody Harrelson's one lucky SOB. I would put in a great performance too if they told me I get to have that scene Alexandria Mamario. I also agree with Ryan. I work outside and fall is better than summer.
I mean, I agree fall is better than summer overall just because the weather, football season, and just, the holidays. Yeah, fall's better than summer. But in Florida, summer's good.
Mark of reality for $1. So was Mark Hamill that one dude in the U.S. who did not vote for Ronald Reagan? Potentially, yeah. It's kind of insane when you see the landslide victory that Ronald Reagan had. One state that he didn't win. Minnesota, right? Is that what it was? I believe.
I think it was Minnesota.
Yeah. John Getz. Hamill's always been known as a one-hit live-action wonder-wise, but he used to also be known as a man who treated fans right. Now he says half his fans are evil, so fuck him. I wouldn't even want to meet him.
Yep.
Yeah, he's truly been just absolutely deranged since 2016, basically. It's crazy.
Not him, but just so many people. So many people have had their brains broken. And I'm not sure we're ever going to see anything like this again. One flawed man that is a comedian half the time has absolutely broken the brains of so many successful people. It's the craziest shit I've ever seen.
People get pretty triggered over Elon Musk too.
They do. They do,
yeah.
but not to the Trump level. Not to the Trump level.
Swania C for 7. Beardo called me Wa-ni on my super chat Thursday. Fucking moron. Also, is this game any good? Haven't heard anything about the gameplay. Just DEI. I mean, you can go check out some of the trailers. It looks the game developers kind of push back on the idea that it's Souls-like, but to most
that's what a lot of people said. Yeah,
it does look Souls-like. I'm not going to say like directly like Dark Souls. There's different elements to it and stuff, but it does look Souls-like. And I think that when you look at the visual fidelity and the different creatures and stuff like that, that to me it looks really good. I've been interested in it since the first trailer debuted, but there are certainly some people that have problems with it.
And most of those people are games journalists. Well, I'm actually interested to hear what you got to say about this. I haven't heard anything with the do's and don'ts list. I don't know if you made a video on that yet.
I haven't made a video specifically about that part, but I have seen the do's and don'ts that you were talking about. Let me actually see if I can find that.
Paul Tassi. Paul Tassi. Go to his Twitter account.
My friend Paul Tassi, who I stuck up for against Randy Pitchford.
Yeah, that's your good buddy right there, Paul Tassi. Yeah, so he's got it listed. You scroll down just a little bit. He dropped an article yesterday on it, but you need to scroll past that article.
I got it here.
Okay.
All right.
But yeah, games journalists are very upset about this. Very upset. Now,
well, games journalists started off mad about this game, Jeremy.
I know it.
Because back in November, we got this big hit piece against Black Myth Wukong and their developers. How Black Myth Wukong developers' history of sexism is complicating its journey to the West. Indie developer Game Science Global Fame is forced to confront its own sexism and that of the Chinese tech industry. Now, this was an IGN article co-written by two miserable women, which they tried to push this idea that look at what some of the developers have said. They said such sexist things. It's disgusting. How dare they? And what ended up happening, and this was like the translation they got from something like this. The snake spirit is different from what I imagined, but if I cover the bottom half with my hand, it's still possible to jerk off. Mr. Dai, you need to adjust your face. The uncanny valley effect's too distracting. Reply, look at it more and you can jerk off to it. Although I'm not used to the snake neck yet, but it can still be nurtured. Okay, Black Myth Wukong has changed my fetish. Now, these were supposedly, look at what these developers are saying. Jesus. One, these things are one, it's not that big of a deal to begin with. Two, they've been mistranslated. And, basically like actual native Chinese speakers look at this and they say, no, that's not exactly what the direct translation would mean. And this is more of just kind of like an idiom that we would use like in everyday life. So this entire hit piece was based on lies from IGN. But the problem is it got written and has just been repeated over and over and over again, to the point where now that it's coming out from places like Screen Rant reviewing it early, Black Myth Wukong, the Souls-like action hype train, is a little off rails. They decided to give it a 3 out of 10. And why, you ask?
Lacking diversity.
Lacking in inclusivity and diversity. This is based off like a Chinese fucking novel from a long time ago. It's like adapted from that. So these people are so fucking retarded. You play as a goddamn monkey. What are you talking about? They're like, not enough of the creatures or NPCs or female or feminine enough. And that doesn't play well when you look at this developer's history of sexism, the sexism that got made up in this dog shit hit piece article. It's been a nightmare.
It really has.
And that is now leading into people finding out a list of do's and don'ts when you get a review copy for Black Myth Wukong. Do enjoy the game. Don't insult other influencers. Use any offensive language or humor. Include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization, or other content that instigates negative discourse. Don't use trigger words like quarantine or isolation or COVID-19. Don't discuss content related to China's game industry policies, opinions, news, etc. So essentially what they're saying, and they're giving out to the reviewers of this game, just focus on the game.
Yes.
Don't bring your own fucking outward politics in it. Don't try to, don't be like, hey, you know, this game looks good, but since China probably had something to do with COVID, you know, don't support it. Like, this is what they're saying. Just focus on the game itself.
That's my entire interpretation of this was simply, this is a reflection of current games journalists and how they've been for the last decade. How they love to bring everything into their review that has nothing to do with the actual game. Now, again, would I agree to this? No. Well, I'm not going to, first of all, we don't get review copies for a reason. All right. So would I agree to, like, what is offensive language humor? I don't know. But if you look at all of those things right there outside of the offensive language humor thing, like, do not insult influencers or players. So do not insult YouTubers or fans, which is essentially what all games journalism do. Do not include politics and violence and nudity and feminism. All games journalists do that. And then, you know, not bringing COVID into it and China and all that. It's a Chinese game, Chinese developer, makes sense. This, to me, is a reflection of current games journalism right here. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would necessarily, like, agree to this either. I've never gotten a review copy of anything in my life that I'm aware of. But yeah, you're right. This is because they know exactly what mainstream media is going to do. It's going to do the same thing that these other people have done. They're bringing in all this outside shit, a lot of lies about the company, and they're trying to, like, push a narrative that has no basis in an actual review of the game itself.
Right.
It's because games journalists are the way that they are, and that they've been attacking Black Myth Wukong for months and months now, that this is probably on these do's and don'ts lists. At the end of the day, they literally just want people to focus on the game.
Yes, which is what every reviewer should be doing to begin with. Who cares who worked on it? Who cares what they've said on social media? Is the game good or not? And I brought up this example multiple times recently, but growing up, reading Electronic Gaming Monthly or Game Pro or Game Informer or Nintendo Power, when I would read about video games or upcoming video game systems, I never heard about the politics of the person that was involved in the development, because it's not important. It's never important to the quality of the game. It does not matter. The only way it matters is if they bring that into the game itself, which is what we never saw back in the day with video games and entertainment in general.
Yeah, and there have been some people that have kind of pushed back. People, I think in the UK maybe, that got copies of it, and they said there wasn't anything like this. It was just the standard, hey, these are the things you can include visuals from. Don't post any spoilers about this or that. So there is a little bit of a difference in some people saying that they got these do's and don'ts, and other people saying, I didn't see that, and I still got a review copy of the game. So... yeah, don't know, but a lot of people are confirming that, hey, I got the game, and I also, maybe they just sent it to the people that they thought were fucking lunatics. That would actually be funny. Maybe they looked at these people and are like, wow, you're a fucking woke lunatic. Your outlet's trash. Hey, you can have it as long as you don't bring all your own identity politics and stuff into it. Maybe that's true.
Well, there was this one guy on, you read this and I'll pull it up. Go ahead. You read that.
I just wanted this for the headline. Black Myth Wukong developer Game Science reportedly bans content creators from including identity politics and feminist propaganda. This should be probably in their game review.
This one right here. So I reacted to RGT85's video, and he brought this tweet up right here. And right here at the bottom here, he's like, no journalist would agree to an embargo with an anti-feminism clause. JFC. And I'm like, I don't know anything about this Jordan Middler guy, but when I saw him crying this hard right there, when I saw that, I'm like, this dude is a soy boy. There's no way. There's no journalist would agree to an embargo with an anti-feminism clause. And I'm like, oh my God, I can the soy coming from this loser right here. So in a PSA before people go mental about this, the review doc, at least in the UK, included absolutely nothing like this. It's pretty standard, if a bit strict, list of in-game content we can't mention. No journalist would agree to an embargo with an anti-feminism clause. I was like, good Lord.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Jesus, I can't believe this. So yeah, I don't again
like that's he is saying, even though he's clearly a fucking male feminist queer, he is saying that there weren't any stipulations like that.
Yeah. So, but when I saw that in RGT's video, I was like, yeah, this guy's soy filled for sure. But you know, it is what it is.
Soy filled, and his asshole is also full of cum.
Yes, very much. God, I did not need that thought in my head. Thank you, Ryan.
Welcome.
Jesus.
That's what I'm here
Jesus.
for. That would not be allowed to be included in a Black Myth Wukong review.
That would not. And we have not agreed to that. So, yeah, I think it's funny, though. Games journalists are the worst people. They are just right. They're right there with regular mainstream outlets and everything like that. So they are the worst of the worst. So chat's thanking you right now, Ryan, for the monkeypox joke.
Hey, no problem. It's an epidemic. Maddening. Jeremy, my family just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. My dad was the 06 of SSBN 731 Alabama. Got something for you. Your P.O. box current. Have a great week, gentlemen.
It is current, maddening, so thank you. Yeah, so it's in the description. You can find the P.O. box information right there. Let's freaking go.
And shout out to your dad. Shout out to your dad.
Hell yeah.
Gen X memories for 5. I remember Mark Hamill played a reverend in Village of the Damned movie back in the 90s. Hail to the 199.
Hail.
Animated Andy for 11. You play as Sung Wukong, a legendary and powerful sage equal to heaven and earth with 72 magic transformations abilities, a powerful bow staff, and beloved to many Asians. Oh, wait, the left hate Asians.
That's right.
They are too close to white people.
Mm-hmm.
The Nets rack for 100. How's Hamill's grandchild doing? No idea.
No idea.
I don't concern myself with it too much. Shadow Saiyan for 10. The more excited I get about Space Marine 2, the more skeptical I get as to who's involved in its creation. Perhaps you guys could do a deep dive.
Yeah, I mean, I actually do want to. I want to check out Space Marine 2. A lot of people have told me that they think I might enjoy that game since I'm a fan of Titanfall, and you know, well, at least apparently the mechanics is good. So I don't know. I will have to look into it.
I did hear the mechanics is good.
Are you making fun of me?
Yes. Boba Fett for 199. Favorite college football teams? Purdue Boilermakers.
Alabama. You know, actually, we were talking about this the other day, Ryan, me and you and a couple people, and I was watching a video from Pat McAfee. He was talking to Peyton Manning. He was talking about how...
He's talking about how Peyton Manning fucking rubbed his ball sack on a trainer's face in college.
No.
Favorite Peyton Manning story.
He's talking about Peyton Manning and the SEC, and Peyton Manning, you know, going to Tennessee and his decision to go to what college, and how Pat McAfee, wherever he said he grew up, I can't remember where he said he grew up, but he didn't understand
Iowa.
He didn't understand the college football craze in the Southeastern Conference. He didn't understand it. It didn't register with him until he became part of, even like as an athlete and everything. It wasn't until he got hired on with Game Day where he said he finally understood the craze around college football in the South. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. You know what I mean? Because he's like, I meet a lot of people. They don't have a favorite NFL team. They are not in the NFL, but college football is a religion to them down here. And I was thinking about that conversation because you was like, I never really understood how, like people are so like you understood it, but you didn't like it. It didn't in your area though. It just wasn't the same.
That's not exactly what I. So what I said was I don't understand how, like a lot of people have no attachment to any professional team.
Right.
Like because growing up, half of my family's from 45 minutes outside of Ann Arbor. Massive fucking Michigan fans in the 90s, right? So like I still it was the 97 title, like all of that stuff. Hardcore fucking college football fans. It's different in the South for sure. When I first lived I'd say the first experience I got with that was when I lived in South Carolina, when I moved down to Charleston. And all of a sudden I had every fucking South Carolina Gamecocks game. Also where I got to see Marshawn Lattimore's knee just get completely
that was rough.
Annihilated.
That was one of the worst injuries I've ever seen on the field. That was awful.
It was pretty bad. Like DeMar Hamlin died and it wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
But like Marshawn Lattimore getting his knee broken and just see it whip around with like,
it was bad.
There's like no ligament left. It's just like skin.
Yeah.
Somehow. Yeah.
That was rough. But yeah, that's why I don't have a favorite college or I don't have a favorite pro football team because I didn't have a pro team that I was connected to. It was all college football. And I've said this many times, like it's no bullshit. When I was old enough to realize what football was, my dad was like, you're either a Bama fan or you're getting the hell out of here. I'm like, a Roll Tide, I guess. Guess I want a place to live, so Roll Tide.
I've always equated as like it's a simple life in the South. A lot of people in trailers that have nothing in life to look forward to other than the next Saturday. Like, and that's literally
and Sunday for NASCAR.
Sunday for NASCAR. There you go. That's kind of how I explain like the college football craze. We ain't taking a fucking trip to Disney World. Who the fuck you think we are? We're sitting around the 13-inch black and white. You're bringing me some fucking beer, and we're gonna watch the game. Like, that's it. That's like the only thing that fucking matters.
It truly
microwave
is.
Some hot dogs.
That's all that matters in Alabama, baby. College football. That and like I said. Count to 5, 1, 2, Earnhardt, 4, 5. That's how you count to 5 in Alabama right there. So
in my experience, the more things that are going on, like in a fucking city like that, you end up having a little bit less hardcore, diehard fan base. There's certainly like exceptions, but
yeah,
go look at Miami and LA. Those are like huge towns, entertainment towns, stuff like that. These people barely care about their sports. You'll go to the Lakers game because it's like a cool thing to do, but you'll show up midway through the second fucking quarter. You go to see Miami. Oh, D Wade, LeBron, okay, but you're just going there to like be part of something. If those teams are dog shit, those people aren't usually showing up.
That classic example was the LeBron Heat days.
Yeah,
like you could tell that like Oklahoma City, their basketball team. Like when KD and like it was like college football, dude.
It was a craze.
My gosh, man, it's all that mattered because it's Oklahoma City.
Like I didn't understand like this. I lived in San Diego, which is not LA, but the West Coast vibe for just showing up late to sporting events. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You paid for this. You're not going to get there early to watch them. Not the fucking. You don't want to watch the national anthem. You don't want to get there, get your shit, walk around the stadium, see what's there. What the fuck is wrong with you people? Like,
that's why I've always hated USC because I felt like their program was always top tier, but the fucking fans in California didn't give a shit. There was no passion out there. It was like, I hate this. I hate it because they don't take it seriously.
Beardo's micro penis for $5. Mark Hamill and Beardo share something in common, guys. Hint: it's not a love for the Batman universe or even Spider-Man 2. Jason Yankovic for 2. Did they just assume the money's, you mean the monkey's identity? They might have. Rolando A. Ramirez for 2. They gave it 3 of 5, not a 3 out of 10. If I said 3 out of 10, I'm sorry. They gave it a 3. D's Webos for 199. Jake in the chat likes Corn the Long Way in his ass, I assume. Shadow Saiyan for 5. To those who don't know, Goku from Dragon Ball is directly based off Sun Wukong. Never watched Dragon Ball, so I wouldn't know that either. Thank you.
You're a big anime fan, though. Drop your anime recommendations for Ryan. The bigger the super chat, the more likely he is to watch the show.
Don't lie to your audience, Jeremy. Hamill was in one episode of a good British sitcom called Man Down. He was the owner of a Greasy Spoon cafe they went to. Bet you never saw it. Mark of Reality. Do not buy a game until after a trustworthy review. Reviewer has given it the stamp of approval. Money is too tight otherwise. Also, bringing in DEI is in fact bringing in politics. Thank you, Mark of Reality. I hope I did all your capitalized words justice. Madney for 5. Do game journalists think that for the sake of diversity, the devs should have made the main character, the monkey, black like Yasuke? I don't know. I feel like that'd be sending some very mixed messages from the woke games journalists. They're just mad that that they didn't add random characters. There's not enough women here or women there or whatever. It's so stupid.
Look at there. We got a 50.
Sorry.
Cristiano Antunes. Is that how you say that? Antunes?
I would assume it's Antunes.
Antunes? I'm getting married today, folks. Wish me luck. Hail the 199. Well, congratulations. I'm sure the chat's they're already giving you a ton of congratulations. So thank you for the 50 and congratulations. Hope it's a great day for you.
That's a Brazilian 50 from Cristiano right there. So thank you.
Better than Dan Vask.
Better than Dan Vask. That's right.
Yeah. Fuck Dan Vask.
Hope the marriage lasts. AD the Demon Slayer for 2. That new Chinese game looks very, very good. These Webos for 199. Jake shouts, "It's ma'am" at grocery stores. You talking about Jake the Freak in the chat?
Yeah, there's that Jake weirdo. May have to, I don't know. That person's like, they're either not good at trolling or they really are a hater. But they're kind of annoying. It's just spam. Not adding anything to the conversation. It's been like months.
Yeah, if you can't have some compelling dialogue, you're not welcome here at Geeks and Gamers. All right?
That's right. We have a lot of like deep dive lore discussions in the chat here.
We're very highbrow, all right? As standards. Not just anybody can come on here and talk about movies or entertainment. Jay, Beardo. We have high standards here. Alex Channel for 5,000 somethings. They care about how Chinese people treat their women now. I'm sure they don't care about Palestinian women though. Yeah. Be careful there. Hey, we want more gay representation in these Middle East games. Flint AEA for 199. Soyboy / Mark Hamill words that can be interchanged. Animating Andy. Weren't we Asians called white adjacent? Awesome. You were, because you're actually like successful. When, like Asian people come to the United States, they're successful and they're like smart and shit, so they're called white adjacent. How fucking just the idea of that is so fucking insulting to like black people.
I know. Like the left is the most racist group of people out there, dude.
Asians shouldn't really be considered a minority because they perform, better than white people. So, they shouldn't get any advantages that other minorities do.
It's wild.
And we're looking at you. We're not going to name the group, but hey. B-Chain for 5. Here in Connecticut, it's all UConn basketball. Our casino has a WNBA team, and no one gives a shit. And it also shouldn't be called the Sun. The Connecticut Sun. Is it fucking sunny in Connecticut a lot? I feel like if you just kind of like normal Northeast shit.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's sunny sometimes, but I don't know. Archer Blades for 320. Disney, Black Tarzan win. I cannot wait for Black Tarzan. Black Quasimodo too. The Trillist for 5. Games journalists finding out they're not able to include woke politics in Black Myth Wukong review gave them an aneurysm. Did, and they're very upset about that. I agree with Jay for 2. It's not too late to run.
For office?
I don't know what that means, but
what if Jay ran for office? Think he'd win?
No. What office?
President.
No.
Jay running for president of the United States.
I don't think he'd win. No. I bet he could find some local thing that he could win.
I think Jay would be pure entertainment on the campaign trail.
That wasn't the question you asked me.
I mean, that's all politics is the entertainment. Like, you don't need substance. You don't need, like, actual depth. You just need to be entertainment.
It's entertaining to watch Kamala Harris fucking people. She's so dumb that people are now just convinced she's drunk all the time.
I don't think she's
gaslighting
entertaining
themselves into thinking that it must just be that she's hammered and sloshed and not that she's an actual fucking retard. That's entertaining to watch.
I don't think she's entertaining. I think she's one of the most cringeworthy things people have ever heard talk. And her laugh is out of control. It's uncomfortable. Like, Joe Biden was entertaining towards the end because he didn't know where he was at. That was entertaining. You're like, this is fantastic television. What's he going to say next? That's why that debate between him and Trump was so good. You had no idea what Joe Biden was going to say. And Trump was just trolling the hell out of him.
Pre-dawn corpse for 5. Jeremy, the bumper stickers in the South like grits. Girls raised in the South. Also, you're gay.
Thank you. Look at that. That would be a perfect. That would be a perfect one. ABF for 50. Campaign slogan. I agree with Jay. Come on, we can make this work. Jay could run for president.
We can't even get this motherfucker to 100,000 subscribers. Yet you think he's gonna get 70 million votes?
Kamala didn't even get like 2% in the fucking primaries or whatever it was.
We don't have the fucking Clinton assassination machine to just take out any and all opposition and to threaten us. Okay, so. No, I don't think it can happen. Wait till when Jay gets to 100K and we'll talk about his campaign for fucking president of the United States.
I mean, Joe Biden was I'm sorry, Barack Obama was a community organizer and a one-term senator, okay? He read a teleprompter really good. Jay would read a teleprompter really bad, but it would be entertaining and he would get a lot of media coverage. I'm not letting this go. I think Jay should run for president. I'm not letting it go.
He's had enough embarrassing moments on this channel. You don't need to give him another one.
He's literally hanging out with Gina Carano because of his stupid drunk 3PO Twitter account, which is retarded. Jay just ends up in places he shouldn't be. It makes no sense. He 100% could run for president and do really well.
Aided clock for 2. Games journalists should stop there again. Hate. Asian hate, I think you mean. Nandy O, G&G has an Oxford level English vocabulary. You're goddamn right we do. Vic's World for 10. Today's the 3rd anniversary of me subscribing to G&G.
Let's go.
Thanks. Well, happy anniversary, Vix. I don't know what the 3-year anniversary gift is supposed to be. Probably paper or tin or something dumb, but thank you. Syndec for 2. Check out the video about Beardo on X at Syndec. All right. B Chain for 2. No, it's never sunny. The casino is Mohegan Sun. I always wondered why they were called the Connecticut Sun, so that makes sense.
There you go.
Oh, I agree with Jay. It was for the one getting married. It's not too late to run.
Oh.
Jay would only get 98,000 votes if he ran for president. Rodimus Prime, member for 15 months. Female mods out of control, timing out people, then harassing him while he's timed out, and then acting high and mighty.
What is this in reference to?
I don't fucking know. Experiment 626, member for 15 months. Jay for president. He can ride short bus 1. God. Lord Bot the Beardo for press secretary. Mine Kritischen Gedanken for 20 euros. From a German perspective, Americans are all Mark Hamills or Mark Ruffalo's to us, with a few exceptions, of course. But at the end, all the Marks are hardly capable to form an educated opinion on anything, like the typical American.
I could see that. I 100% could see that. Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you. Mein Kritischen Gedanken. Is that German enough? I hope that doesn't mean something fucked up, by the way. Animated Andy for 5. Drunk as president. Jeremy, seriously, are you drunk?
No. But drunk 3PO is president. That's a campaign I can stand behind right there.
Over on Rumble, let's see. Jose Contreras for $1. Ryan, when you come to San Antonio, go to Dick's Last Resort. They insult you while you eat. You'll feel right at home. Yeah, I've seen those places. Is the food actually any good? I don't know. I've heard it's expensive there. Benzo for $1. One man, one desire. The little tortilla boy. Haha. Archer Blades, Mark Hamill for $5 is Mark Hamill, a MAGA deranged psychotic asshole, a pro-abortion rotten to the core trash heap, a third-rate dime store actor. Quote me. Plug Walk Tony. Ryan, do you remember the Charles Woodson soundbite about Cutler? Jay gonna be Jay? Would be perfect when Jay is being Jay. Yes. John Getz looks like a Chinese mythology version of God of War, so I'm in, but waiting for a physical release. Astrobot and the Plucky Squire are coming in September, so good times from gaming aside from Outlaws. Another $2. Journal's mad because they blame greed for lack of quality, but then games like this, Stellar Blade Hogwarts Legacy came and don't have microtransactions, but are too problematic to praise. They can't stand that a game that has everything they want for value and quality also has none of the crap they claim is needed for a great modern story. It shows their shallow values don't matter. Hat for $2. Charles Woodson became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. That's something no one can take away from you, unless you kill your wife and a waiter. Norm MacDonald, thank you. That was one of his best OJ quotes. Benzo for $1. We do have high standards. We are very highbrow, aka the brows so high they vanish. Yeah, that's what happened to me and Jeremy. SBZ for $2. Jay vs. Mr. Beast 2040.
Let's go.
Is Jay gonna be alive in 2040?
Maybe.
I don't know if I am.
You won't be.
I would be 50. So, and toss a coin.
I'm gonna make my goal to make sure you are though. I just want you to be so miserable.
To make me live to 50.
Yeah, past 50, because I want you to be so miserable. Like you're gonna be so angry if you're like really old and you can't do anything. You'd be so angry. You're already angry. It would be amazing.
Can't wait. Jay is the Quasimodo of G&G. I'd vote for him.
What happened?
I don't know what it was though. Ministry of Wrongthink for $5. Jay's viral hit piece CNN taste will be him tripping poo at Disney.
No.
Gabriel Knight for $20. I can see it now. Jay stands up at the RNC to give an acceptance speech, only for the teleprompter to fail and him to awkwardly stand for a brief silence before recovering with the nervous utterance of "Let's talk games." Biggest fan.
I wonder if he has any idea how much he's being talked about right now, and he'll still complain. Man, you guys never mentioned me.
Eugenio Olivencia, they're the Connecticut Sun because they play at Mohegan Sun. Now I know. Fuck. Now my if something fell right on my computer and now the fan's making a weird noise.
God dang it, Ryan.
But Days of Darkness, Bama blows OHIO. They say that Bama sucks off Ohio State.
Yeah, I don't really.
I'd be down with it. No. Ohio State's pretty gay, so makes sense.
No.
But I think we're all done.
All caught up. I'll be covering the RNC tonight. Joe Biden is speaking, along with Hillary Clinton is speaking. AOC is speaking. It's going to be kind of interesting to see how this all plays out. Chicago, you've got you've got thousands. Some people are saying up to 100,000 protesters. I don't know if it's that bad. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. What did I say? Did I say RNC? I meant DNC. So it's the DNC, not the RNC. So I'm covering the DNC tonight on CobraCast.
It's funny. We basically had no protests at the RNC when we were there.
There weren't.
A handful of people in that little courtyard.
Yeah.
But that was really it. Some random fucking criminal got shot. It was just robbing a 7-Eleven or some shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that'll be later on. I'll be covering that. I think it starts at 5 or 6. So we'll see. What do you got going on, Ryan?
Nothing. Just videos.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you guys so much for the support. We greatly appreciate it. I'll see you over there on CobraCast. Nandy says, AOC looks like I got to put my put glasses in my ears, or glass in my ears. Just mute when she's talking. That's the best thing you can do. That's the best thing you can do. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you on CobraCast in a few hours. Have a great day. We'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.